In this regard, I would also note the need for a reform of the United Nations organization and likewise of economic institutions and international finance so that the concept of the family of nations can acquire real teeth. We really want the UN to have teeth? Needless to say, this calls for clear legal limits to avoid power being co-opted only by a few countries and to prevent cultural impositions or restriction of the basic freedoms of weaker nations on the basis of ideological differences. Francis wants to limit the United States. He's never disciplining and talking down to China, those atheistic communist Chinese that pollute the world more than any other nation. For the international community is a juridical community founded on the sovereignty of each member state without bonds of subordination that deny or limit its independence. At the same time, the work of the United Nations, according to the principles set forth in the preamble and the first articles of its founding charter, can be seen as the development and promotion of the rule of law based on the realization that justice is an essential condition for achieving the ideal of universal fraternity. Why is the United Nations telling everyone to abort their babies in third world countries? Do you think we don't know what the United Nations are? And that the United Nations will, he says, achieve the ideal of universal fraternity. By saying that, you have said, we have no God but Caesar. Just like the high priest at the time of Jesus, we have no king but Caesar. Only Jesus Christ, King of Kings, can bring about universal fraternity. And you're saying that the United Nations would do that? With their sterilizations and their abortions, socialism, their anti-family policies? There is a need to ensure the uncontested rule of law and tireless recourse to negotiation, mediation, and arbitration as proposed by God? No. By the Church Fathers? No. By the Charter of the United Nations, says Francis, which constitutes truly a fundamental juridical norm. Well, praise be the Third Testament dropped from heaven as the Charter of the United Nations. You got the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Charter of the United Nations, which is what Francis calls the fundamental juridical norm.